right now, and for new accusations, another woman accuses the governor of making unwanted advances. What we're learning about the new allegations.
And it was a chilly day out there, but we did get to enjoy some of the sunshine this afternoon. I'll let you know if we'll see more of this tomorrow coming up in your 401 forecast.
Plus, a new COVID vaccination site opens in Buffalo tomorrow. The warning from the county executive if you were trying to schedule an appointment. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us on News 4 at 4. I'm Christy Kern. In your top 4 at 4, the governor has made no recent statements about it, but the claims of inappropriate conduct keep coming. A third accuser has now come forward. News 4's George Rickert joins us live in downtown Buffalo with the very latest. George, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Christy. These latest allegations highlighted in the New York Times actually stem from a year and a half ago. But in this case, a picture may be worth 1,000 words. Take a look. The New York Times shared this picture from a wedding in September of 2019. Anna Rook tells the New York Times that moments after they met at the wedding, Governor Cuomo put his hand on her bare lower back. She removed his hand, but she said the governor then remarked that she seemed aggressive and then placed his hands on her face and asked if he could kiss her loudly enough for a friend standing nearby to hear. She pulled away. She is the third woman to recently share a story of alleged inappropriate conduct by Governor Cuomo. Now, the state attorney general has launched an investigation and has yet to pick an investigator for that. While the governor hasn't said who will defend him in these cases, Governor Cuomo has hired attorney Elkin Abramowitz, who represented him 7 years ago in a federal probe after Cuomo disbanded an anti-corruption agency. Abramowitz has also represented Woody Allen and Harvey Weinstein. Now, Anna Rook is the first of the 3 women who did not work for the governor. The previous 2 were former aides to the governor. The governor has been silent since putting out a statement on Sunday evening after the first 2 allegations. Coming up at 5, Mark Poloncarz had some candid comments of how he feels about especially this latest allegation, and we'll hear from him at 5 and 6. Live in downtown Buffalo, George Rickert, News 4.
All right, George, thank you. And we also have some breaking news just into the newsroom. We have just learned Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins and Assembly Speaker Carl Heastie confirmed the legislature will pass legislation to repeal Governor Cuomo's emergency powers. Now, according to a release, the legislation will, quote, allow current directives pertaining to preserving the public health to continue. Another state lawmaker is also speaking out on the controversy surrounding Governor Andrew Cuomo as well. And our News 4's Chris Rabanetz caught up with Assembly Majority Leader Crystal Peoples-Stokes today. She says if the sexual harassment allegations against the governor are true, he must take responsibility for his actions.
I do think we have a responsibility to be held to a higher level of standards. And if, in fact, through the Attorney General's investigation, it's determined that the governor did not hold up to that level of standard, then he should suffer whatever the consequences are to come with it.
Well, you will hear more reaction from other state lawmakers coming up tonight on News 4 at 5 and also 6 o'clock. A new poll is revealing how New Yorkers feel about the governor in the midst of all of the controversy. The Emerson, WIVB, and News Nation poll was conducted Monday and earlier today. More than 600 New Yorkers took part in the poll. They were asked questions like, do you approve or disapprove of the job Cuomo has been doing? And also questions about how he handled the pandemic. Our News 4's Jay Graber will break down the results of the poll coming up tonight on News 4 at 6 o'clock. And of course, stay with News 4 and WIVB.com for continuing coverage of this developing story. Well, more people in Erie County will be able to get the coronavirus vaccine soon. The pop-up vaccination site at Delavan Grider Community Center opens tomorrow to the public. People who live in 10 specific Buffalo zip codes were already able to sign up for a shot. Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz says people should not call the county health department if they're trying to set up an appointment.
Please do not call the Erie County Department of Health. We will not be scheduling appointments. We do not have access to the appointment schedule for this location. It is a special site that the federal government is bringing in here through FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, working with New York State. So New York State will be scheduling the sites, but the federal government will actually be running the sites.
Well, this is one of several sites FEMA organized through New York State. 1,000 shots a day will be administered at the location, and you must be eligible for the vaccine in New York State to get one at the site. It opens at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. President Biden is expected to give an update on his administration's handling of the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. He is expected to talk about a new deal between competitors Johnson & Johnson and Merck for increased vaccination production. Skylar Henry is at the White House with more.
This afternoon, President Biden will announce a major agreement that will allow pharmaceutical manufacturer Merck to help produce Johnson & Johnson's one-dose COVID-19 vaccine.
The U.S. government will facilitate this partnership in several key ways, including invoking the Defense Production Act to equip 2 Merck facilities.
The deal has the potential to dramatically increase the supply of the vaccine, though it could take a couple of months to get the Merck production process going. The White House press secretary also announced the administration is increasing vaccine supply to states this week to more than 15 million doses of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, plus nearly 3 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. In Philadelphia, DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas toured a FEMA-backed mass vaccination site. He says FEMA has helped facilitate more than 500 community vaccination centers around the country to date.
It is a shining example of partnership.
President Biden is also continuing outreach on the $1.9 trillion COVID relief package. Tuesday, he called into the Senate Democrats' lunch meeting.
He said we need to pass this bill and pass it soon.
But Senate Republicans continue to blast the bill as too partisan.
It is my hope that at the end, Senate Republicans will unanimously oppose it.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the Senate will take up the bill this week. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Well, the Cheektowaga man accused of kidnapping a teenager in North Tonawanda is now facing several charges. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Michael Mesko is charged with enticement of a minor and production of child sexual abuse. Pennsylvania state troopers arrested Mesko last month after an Amber Alert was issued for the 17-year-old girl. The two were found at a truck stop in Pennsylvania. Investigators say he had engaged in repeated sexual acts with the 17-year-old via social media apps dating back to October of 2020. Mesko faces 15 years to life in prison if convicted.
Now your forewarned weather forecast, certified Buffalo's most accurate.
Well, let's take a live look over downtown Buffalo right now on your Tuesday afternoon. Let's check in with our meteorologist, Andrew Baglini, for a first check of that forecast. Andrew, we did see some sun out there today for a good part of the day, which was, of course, always nice to see this time of year.
It always helps warm the car up a little bit, at least on a chilly day like today. You know, the sun angle's getting higher and higher this time of year, and that goes a long way. Even if temperatures stay below freezing, it's enough to melt snow. And it also means that if we do get snow, and we've got maybe a little bit of snow showers tomorrow, but no significant snow. But the bottom line is if we were to get some significant snow, at this time of the year, it's not going to stick around very long because of that higher sun angle. So, yeah, certainly bright out there. We're still kind of in and out of that sunshine and a few clouds from time to time. Temperatures are below freezing everywhere. Here in Buffalo, we're in the mid and upper 20s. We've got just a little bit of a breeze, but the breeze is going to pick back up this evening, especially across the Niagara frontier. We're going to feel some stronger wind gusts. Wind chills right now in the teens, and as we lose the daylight and the breeze picks back up, it's going to be noticeably chilly throughout tonight. Radar clear, satellite mostly clear, showing just a few clouds dropping in from this disturbance up in Canada, and this is eventually going to move a little bit to the south, drop more cloud cover into western New York overnight tonight, and be responsible for maybe a few sprinkles or flurries getting into tomorrow. And then there's a chance for a few snow showers tomorrow afternoon as well. But as far as tonight goes, the wind picks up. Partly clear this evening with clouds increasing overnight. Temperatures start in the 20s and will be on the rise into tomorrow morning. I'll let you know how high they'll go and when to expect some of those showers coming up in your full forecast in just a little bit. Christy?
All right, Andrew, thank you. And of course, remember, you can get the latest forecast in the palm of your hands at any time. Just download our News 4 app. It has the latest news, weather, sports, traffic, and more. And it is free for your phone or your tablets. Well, coming up next on News 4 at 4, expanding into the heart of the Queen City. How a local craft brewery is working to increase their markets. Plus, more people are hitting the road as the vaccine is making people feel safer about leaving the Empire State for vacations.
You're watching News 4 at 4 with Christy Kern and meteorologist Andrew Baglini. From Kenmore to Hamburg, covering all of Western New York, this is News 4, your local news leader.
Well, a Buffalo man could spend up to 25 years in prison for shooting a woman outside of his home. Erie County District Attorney John Flynn says Edward Bald was arraigned on charges including attempted murder and assault. Prosecutors say he shot the victim in the chest outside his home on Quincy Street in Buffalo. This happened last month. The victim is still recovering at ECMC. Bald is scheduled to be back in court on Thursday. Amherst police are warning about a new scam targeting National Grid customers. Police say scammers are demanding people pay them by wire transfer, Green Dot Money Pack, and other prepaid card services. Police say you should never give personal or financial information to someone you do not know. If you've noticed children running safety patrols all around your local schools, you may be looking at a program now celebrating 100 years of service. Naomi Ruckham reports on how AAA's School Safety Patrol is about safer streets and creating leaders.
For Deborah Carlino's students in South San Francisco, some of the most important lessons happen outside the school.
They are in charge of helping children and parents safely cross the street. As soon as they put those uniforms on, they just stand taller and they have such pride and dignity.
The uniforms are part of AAA's School Safety Patrol. The program that started 100 years ago is now in 35,000 schools across the country, staffed by nearly 680,000 patrollers. While much of their work is on hold during the pandemic, AAA says the program has helped reduce student pedestrian deaths by 24% since 2010. Carlino believes the program transforms her students, leading to better attendance, better grades, and more leadership.
It makes the children change on a cellular level. We want the children to grow up to be strong leaders, to care about their communities.
In Beaver Dam, Virginia, 12-year-old K.O. Cook is a fourth-generation safety patroller.
My great-grandfather he was a safety patrol, and then it was my grandfather and my uncle, and then now it's me.
He won a merit award for his work, and his mother says the experience has helped him shine.
Watching him be this shy, quiet little boy in third grade to growing into this leader in just 2 years has been amazing to see.
A lesson in the way helping others can also help ourselves. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
Well, travel is on the rise as more people are vaccinated and comfortable traveling outside the state again. That is according to the travel agency Everlasting Memories. AAA officials say most people are mostly booking trips to places like Florida or Las Vegas and a few international destinations like Mexico.
People are becoming more comfortable with the idea of travel. People are getting the vaccine and people are seeing numbers of COVID go down and they're ready to do something. They're sick of being stuck in their house and they're ready to travel and experience the world again, and which is a great thing. We're happy for that.
Well, health officials say travelers still have to follow the quarantine rules after traveling out of the state. That includes getting a COVID-19 test 3 days before arriving back in New York State or quarantining for 2 weeks once you get back. The Walton Galleria has a new store coming that is just for kids. The lifestyle and clothing brand Buffalo Kids is opening its first ever store this Saturday. The store will be on the lower level of the mall near Starbucks. Rapper and Buffalo native Westside Gunn founded the store. It will feature Buffalo Kids and Westside Gunn apparel and footwear along with his wrestling company's clothes as well. It will also feature items from Griselda by Fashion Rebels. The store's grand opening is this Saturday at 9 o'clock in the morning. An iconic craft brewery is set to expand its tap room right into the heart of Buffalo. The announcement was made that Southern Tier Brewing Company's new location will be in the 716 Food and Sport building at Lecom Harbor Center. Owner Finn D-Mix says it's been a dream for years to move into the downtown area.
This opportunity presented itself and we felt like it was a really good fit. Given the relationship with the Pagulas, the location of 716, and everything that's, happening on the canal side. I mean, it's just a lot of energy around the Harbor Center right now.
Well, Southern Tier Brewing will be leasing the facility from Pagula Sports Entertainment. Construction will begin soon, and the owners hope to have the new site up and running during the summer. Andrew, I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty nice as we, start dreaming of summer. And, the good news is that we saw the sun today, which always feels really nicely. And it's just a sign of the times that are coming with spring on the way.
Yep, we're going to see more of that sunshine. Sun angles getting a little bit higher.
Yeah,
you really start to feel that this time of year as well. And, we're really losing what's left of our snowpack at this point, at least here around Buffalo. Still holding strong down around the ski resorts. And with the cold weather we've got in place over the next 5-6 days or so, still some good skiing, good snowboarding to be found, and not bad weather to do so, honestly. But taking a look over downtown Buffalo, the roads are dry, the sun is out. We have a few high clouds starting to drift in right now, but a lot of areas are seeing some of that nice sunshine. But despite the sunshine, temperatures have stayed below freezing pretty much everywhere. We do have some low 30s down around the southern tier, upper 20s here in Buffalo and across our northern counties. Not as windy as yesterday, certainly just a little bit of a breeze, but I do expect this wind to start to pick back up this evening, especially as we lose the daylight, and that will drive these wind chills back down into the teens, and maybe even a few of those gusts could bring those wind chills into the single digits. So we are in for another pretty cold night out there, especially once the sun sets. Satellite showing some of those clouds dropping into our northern counties right now, but still some sunshine farther off to the south. Radar is clear and should stay that way this evening. We've got a weak disturbance up in Canada. This is going to move off to the north and east of us, but it will drop some clouds and moisture our way tomorrow. So that's going to bring us cloudy skies and a few showers likely throughout the day tomorrow. Here's how that looks in your hour-by-hour forecast. Partly clear this evening. Temperatures are going to stay in the 20s overnight, so they're actually not going to drop all that much because of that southwest breeze bringing in some of the milder air. So temperatures are going to hold pretty steady, but with the breeze picking back up, it's going to feel colder and colder. And of course, as we lose the daylight, it's going to feel colder tonight. By the time we wake up tomorrow morning, temperatures are already bouncing back into the upper 20s and low 30s, but we're watching clouds rolling in. So we might see some early breaks of sunshine, but it ends up being a pretty cloudy day tomorrow. And with those clouds around lunchtime may come a few sprinkles or flurries, and actually expecting some snow showers developing throughout the afternoon and evening. Room for some coatings out here, especially in the hills getting into the second half of tomorrow. Not expecting anything more than that. This is really not going to be anything too significant, but a few slick spots can't be ruled out tomorrow night. With anything that falls, melts, and refreezes, we're going to watch out for that. So we might see some patchy, icy spots, but not much accumulation. By the time we wake up Thursday morning, those flurries continue to wind down, and we're going to get back to the sunshine. Still below average temperatures for Thursday and Friday, but it will be a bright end to the week. But we do have some milder temperatures as we head into next week. I'll show you that 7-day in just a moment. Pretty blustery out there this evening. The wind, again, really picking up. The stronger gusts this time are going to be found across our northern counties and the Niagara frontier, where some of these gusts may reach upwards of 35 to 40 miles per hour. And again, that's certainly going to add a wind chill. A little blustery throughout the morning tomorrow. The wind gradually backs off getting into the afternoon. Won't be as windy as yesterday was, but still a pretty blustery one out there. So temperatures on the rise tonight. They're going to hold steady in the 20s, getting into the 30s by tomorrow morning. Not going to see as much sunshine, pretty much cloudy skies after maybe some sunny breaks early. A few sprinkles or flurries in the morning, and then a few more snow showers developing later on into the afternoon. Minimal accumulation, but watch out for a few slick spots getting into tomorrow night. Sunshine returns for Thursday and Friday. Weekend is looking quiet. Temperatures staying in the 30s with a mix of clouds and sunshine, but we do have a nice bounce back and a little warm up on the way for next week. Christy?
All right, Andrew, thank you. Well, coming up next on News 4 across the continent, how social media helped reunite an heirloom with the family it belonged to. Let's take a look at what is trending this afternoon. An American fashion student made the best of a bad time when he got stranded in Paris during the pandemic. James Giltner says he found inspiration in something he could relate to, which was the lockdown. He says when he was quarantined in Paris, he started knitting. That helped him come up with the idea for his fashion project, which he calls Corona Couture. And for James, the message was deeper than just trying to look nice.
No matter how chic we try to be and no matter how glamorous we are, we're always going to have, viruses running us one way or another.
Well, he says he is dedicating the designs to what he calls the COVID generation, and he hopes resilience never goes out of style. His teacher says being young and creative in a pandemic is difficult, but James rose above it. Well, forget about extra cheese. A pizza shop in Des Moines, Iowa is using the Kellogg's cereal Fruit Loops as a topping. The pie is called Loopy Fruits. The breakfast cuisine includes a sour cream and cream cheese sauce. It's topped with mozzarella, Fruit Loops, and drizzled with Greek yogurt and condensed milk. Well, the power of social media helped a woman in New York reunite an old family photo with a woman in Texas. She posted the picture on Twitter last week, and within a day, the connection was made. Greg Mocker has the story.
Stories can jump from the pages of a book. This one fell out. A photo has been a 15-year mystery for Victoria Johnson, tucked in between the pages of a book picked up one day at a Manhattan bookstore.
And they were anonymous, but they just seemed so human to me and alive.
This has been 15 years sitting there.
It was where I could see it, and I'd look at it every now and then and wish I could find those people.
Here's the part where the internet helps establish a good connection. Victoria Johnson is a professor at Hunter College, an award-winning author who likes history and has a Twitter. More than 10,000 retweets, likes, and comments later.
Suddenly I got a tweet saying, "That's my great uncle Sheldon."
And somebody else was calling Valerie Sutton.
I am in the picture. I am the youngest person in the picture.
Last week you were going about your business. How'd you hear that somebody was kind of looking for you?
My cousin Elizabeth called me on the phone. I said, well, can you send me a picture first so I can just take a look to be sure, it's really us? And she did, and it was.
What was it like to see it again?
I looked at that picture and I thought, my first reaction was, oh my gosh, that's my new haircut. I remember the haircut just like that because I was so excited to get it. And I was really, really happy because I had a dad again.
Her and her sister's father had passed away. Their mom met Sheldon Sudduth in church in Kansas, where they were living. The family sent the picture around to relatives. Some lived in New York City.
And her daughter was the one who sold the book in the used bookstore.
The rest of this story has been discovered now by people sharing it.
He sang in a gospel 4 quartet, and he used that as an avenue to do race relations. And I didn't know that as a kid.
Valerie, what do you think that your mom and dad would think about all this?
I think they'd be tickled. They would.
Victoria is going to mail Valerie the picture. We are all part of the story now.
Well, coming up next on News 4 as the governor's alleged sexual harassment scandal widens, we hear from a well-known women's rights attorney. And coming off the shelves, why some Dr. Seuss books will stop being published.
You're watching News 4, your local news leader. Now, live from Buffalo, this is News 4 at 4.
On your top 4 at 4:30, another woman has come forward accusing the governor of unwanted advances. The 33-year-old woman told the New York Times she was at a wedding when the governor approached her and put his hand on her lower back. Anna Ruck also says he put his hands on her cheeks and asked if he could kiss her. Ruck says this happened in 2019 in New York City. Ruck has never worked for the governor, and the Times reports she worked in the Obama White House and on the Biden campaign. The governor's office has not responded to the latest allegation. Well-known women's rights attorney Gloria Allred is responding to those accusations against the governor. She has represented many women who have been victims of sexual harassment over the years. She says she agrees there needs to be a full investigation of the accusations against Governor Cuomo. She says many times victims are scared to come forward because of fear of retaliation.
Fear is the weapon that is used to keep women silent. And maybe they are threatened, maybe they're not threatened, but feel intimidated because there is a power differential, obviously, between the governor and the employee. They may be worried about repercussions for their career, repercussions for their family, trolls on the internet. We don't know.
Allred is not representing any of Cuomo's accusers. And you, of course, can stay with News 4 and WIVB.com for continuing coverage of this developing story. Well, Buffalo police are investigating a deadly shooting on Hurdle Avenue. It happened at about 6 o'clock last night. Police say someone shot a 26-year-old man several times. Crews rushed him to the hospital where he later died. Police believe the shooting is targeted. You're asked to call police if you have any information. And Crime Stoppers is offering a $7,500 reward if you can help them find the person who killed this man. Police say someone killed Martin Hinton last September on Maple Ridge Avenue in Buffalo. You're asked to call the number on your screen if you have any information. And turning to the latest on coronavirus in Western New York, according to new data from the state health department, the number of people in our region's hospitals with the virus is dropping to numbers that we have not seen since late last year. 188 people are in local hospitals with the coronavirus. That is down 2 from the day before. It is also the lowest we've seen since last November, when 185 people were in Western New York hospitals with the virus. Western New York's 7-day positivity rate is 1.84%.